Hello, everyone, and I am Lady of the Throne here, where God dwells within me as me, and I am here to talk to you all today about the energy for the week. All right, this is a collective message. It can be viewed as a prophecy for something that's coming up this week, or it can just be a current energy that some of you may resonate with. What I can say about collective messages is that if you guys are finding a disconnect to the messages this week, or if you find it hard to connect these dots or these pieces, then I want to say that it could be because you're not really tapped in or you're not spiritually awakened yet in order for things to resonate or hit you. And because you have to notice, the first step to understanding spiritual messages and prophecies and all of this, spiritual things is for you to be tapped in yourself. That's the first thing. And then after that, if it doesn't resonate, then it may not be for you. It's not a message that's going to be intended to reach everyone. It's not going to play out verbatim in everyone's life, but it is a collective message where a lot of people may be affected by it. All right. But take what does resonate with you, take what does not. This is upcoming energy. So this is welcoming the energy of the week, and this is what's coming in. The week is 7 days, so you have time for things to play out. All right. So what I am getting strongly right now with the collective energy, I am the collective. What I am getting strongly here is this energy of like somebody out there feeling like people want you to be the old version of yourself. I'm getting that people are stuck on something that they've created in their mind about you, or an older version of you, or even a lower version of you. A lot of people are walking around unawakened. And so I want this message to target women specifically, and for those women who have gone through things that I'm about to speak about today. This is women who've gone through things and they've had to work a little bit harder to show who they really are. Take someone like Kim Kardashian, for instance, or someone like Black China, for instance. These are women who are social media mavens. They dominate social media because there is a strong liking toward women like this because they have headlined major news media outlets and blogs. And the reason why has a lot to do with a connection to the men that they have chose to date, right, in the past. So the men that they were connected to opened the door for fame, for a whole lot. Now, the thing is, being famous, it means that a lot of people can do a lot of things and a lot of people can say a lot of things. You go through scrutiny, ridicule, embarrassment, humiliation, shame, happiness. I mean, a whole lot of fake love, a whole lot of confusion, doubts, sarcasm, and a whole lot of attention all happening at the same time. And I am mentioning these two women specifically because if you look at their career, how everything started with them having a connection to famous men, and then them building empires from being their own brands, right? So when that happens, and then the real world starts to hit you from every angle, in every corner, and you realize that your perception of you is not the perception that others have of you. Everyone doesn't have the same perspective as you, and everyone doesn't feel the same way as you. And I'm sure they've had multiple moments. We've seen these two women cry. We've seen these two women like literally lose their minds at some point. We've seen them do things that were outrageous, but we've also seen them very calm and knowing how to handle things. When you're famous or when you're in a spotlight, because some of you could be, or some of you could be like on the verge of this, or you are someone who's very popular on social media. You could be popular in a community. You could have a business and you're popular for that. There's a lot of popular people now. So this isn't out of the ordinary. This is like ordinary now. Everyone wants a blue check on social media, on Instagram, right? And everyone wants to be popular. So a lot of people get it because it just comes to them. But some women get it because of their connection to famous men. Now, here's the thing about this position that you're in. When you're in this kind of position, and when the story or the connection to that specific man gets tainted by public perception, as well as whatever the media wants people to believe about you, that's going to be the story until you change it. Kim Kardashian is someone who was known for a sex tape. We all know that. But as you see how she took this, branded it, and became a business. Now she has a multi-million-dollar company or brand that is herself, because no matter what shameful things she has done, she has capitalized off of this. Sometimes a woman can find her strength in the darkness. And I feel that she found her strength in the darkness. I feel that she has placements. I don't know her birth chart. I don't really care about celebrities that much. I'm just going to be honest with you. But some of them, she may have like Scorpio somewhere in the wrong houses. It may be that because of the Scorpio placement she has, maybe that's why her love life, her experiences with men are always publicly humiliating to her. It could be because, Scorpio is the sign of darkness, mystery, secrets, and evil a lot of times. Not saying that the person under a sign of Scorpio is always that way, but the energy brings up a lot of that energy. You know what I mean? The energy is that, but it doesn't mean that people are like that. Because I've met some really amazing Scorpio women, like family members or whatever, just along the way, and they're not like that. But the energy astrologically is a dark energy. So if you have this in your chart somewhere, that's probably why this is happening, or this has happened to her. Same thing for Black China. It could be, I'm not sure where her placements are, but that could be affecting her in some kind of way when it comes to her fame. However, the good thing about having some Scorpio in your birth chart somewhere is that you are intuitive enough. Depending on where it is, it can be a strength. It can be a strength, right? So when you're a beautiful woman and you're connected to a famous or popular man, a lot of people will immediately run and jump to degrade you, demean you, and defame your character. And a lot of people will do this because of a distorted viewpoint of a connection to a man who is in a position of some type of fame. Now, when you are the person who is also famous, just like this man, and word gets out, and then you blow up bigger, and you get more attention, you get more fame, you get more fans, you get more, all of this energy, right? Then it's like a whirlwind of confusion. Because as you're constantly growing and developing your character and branding yourself, as who you are or who you want people to know you as, who you have become, it feels like a tug of war situation where you have the masses trying to hold you back, trying to keep you back, trying to put you in a mindset or in a timeline that you had already grew out of, that you've already overcome, that you've already let go. How many times have you guys seen a Kim Kardashian blog post or a Black China blog post saying something can happen with either of these women tomorrow, and I guarantee you the media is going to make a connection to whatever happened in the past. Everything constantly goes back to the past because they want to remind you that this person ain't the sugar honey iced tea that you think they are, that this person is not as, this person did not grow, that this person is not healthy in the mind, that this person is losing it. That's what they do, right? They want to remind you. So there is a lot of good things to say in the mix, but then there's also a whole lot of contradictory things to say in the mix. It's kind of like when you have a movie role as an actor or an actress, and people will always know you as that, especially if you made a large impact on people. How many people would see Steve Urkel and call this man Steve Urkel, and his name is Jaleel White? How many people would see Chris Tucker and call him Smokey instead of Chris Tucker? How many people would see Mike Epps and call him Day Day, and his name is Mike Epps? You know what I mean? It's like that one role determines your future, your reputation, your world image, your world view, and it's really, 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 really tough to change it. That's why a lot of actors and actresses, they get really strong roles or memorable roles, and then you don't see much of them after, because a lot of people still remember that that's who they were. Now there's other people who act like, say, Halle Berry, for instance. She came out, her breakthrough role, in my opinion, was in Losing Isaiah. I'm sorry. She was a woman who was on drugs, who had a drug problem, and she literally threw her baby away, right? But nobody really talks about that role. Nobody really brings that up in association to Halle Berry. A lot of times it's Monsters Ball, just because she did something by stepping out of her character, and she became a whole new person in that role. Like, she gave them what they wanted to see. Or they may bring up X-Men. A lot of people may bring that up. Now, she's been in multiple films, but that's the thing. Someone like her, with a lot of versatility within her reputation, you'll bring up multiple things in association with her and not just one thing. So that's what you call someone who has overcome societal pressure, bullying, gang stalking, humiliation, and evil, that wanted to just make her this slut. To she was able to create a career that didn't lead in that direction, even though it could have. She was very, very close. So, but she also is a woman who was not strongly connected to a man in order for her to be famous. See, it's a difference. We don't know her for the Eric Benets. We know about it, but we don't connect her career to that. It's a difference. And I'm not saying that someone like Black China or Kim Kardashian needed any man to help in their career. It's just that the association helped. Then they get put in boxes, and they're not as valuable as Angela Bassett. They're not as valuable as Viola Davis. You see, they may be. Who knows? Who would ever know? But people in the world, society, society gets so easily influenced by what they see, what they hear, and they just run with that, and that's just what you're left with. But it's up to you, like these two, it's up to you to decide for yourself who you want to be and what you want to be called, right? There is a possibility in that. So I'm saying this because I myself have experienced all of these things, and I always speak to you guys, my audience, in transparency. And I want you guys to understand that you have to really get to know a person for real, and you have to really pay attention to the way a person moves to truly understand why these things are happening, and to understand that when you are a woman who is strong, independent, and you can, your energy is what's creating you, what's building you. It's not your association to any man. However, like I said, the association does help to bring these things. But the problem comes in when people keep wanting to hold you back from that, from being you. See, it's very crazy how when you're famous and you have an association that a lot of people know about to certain people, and you could be easily thrown in the mix and you had nothing to do with it, or you don't know what's going on until you find out, oh, this is the reason why I'm getting this treatment, because that's how this person's treated that I'm connected to. It's a really evil world, and I'm sure you guys know that. But to empower you today, I want you to know that even if you're not popular, and even if the person you're dealing with is not, this may still be able to apply to a lot of you who are just dealing with people in general. It could be your family members, your friends, your community. It could be just random people that don't even know you. People want you to be their version of reckless. It's like when you have a throne, you see, a lot of people think that this throne can be taken. A lot of people think that a throne can be something that can be replaced. And a lot of people think a throne can be something that is for glamour and for media and for television and for the world. It's not. That's a hand-picked by God seat. That's a hand-picked by God role. That's a hand-picked by God destiny. So, chosen ones will get a lot of negativity from people who are not. And in order for people to feel like they are better, they will constantly do things to set you back to something that you've already worked out of, elevated yourself away from, you have healed from, you no longer. Or maybe you never did. Maybe it's all lies. Whatever your situation, whatever you're going through in your life, whatever is happening around you, you have to understand that a lot of people talk about you and they don't know you. A lot of people think that they know you only because a lot of people are talking about you. A lot of people have been tricked to say things about you in a negative way because they didn't understand what it really meant to be a goddess. That's not something that you take that word and you play with. A lot of people choose to play with it because a lot of people don't have the power. They play with life because there's nothing real happening. That's tricks. That's something that belongs in a circus or on a stage, in a fair, something to show off. But when you really are, that's when people have a problem. And that's when it becomes like, I want to see if I could be. And if I can't be, I don't want this person to shine. So I'm here to just empower women this week. This week is all about empowering women to be strong and know yourself. Know thyself is an Egyptian phrase that is still true to this day, and that is the most defining moment of your life when you actually know yourself. You see, me, I will never change. I will never not be me. I will never not be raw and authentic. I can't be with shenanigans, and I can't sugarcoat, and I can't, deny that I am just really myself. So society will do this thing, and they're called Decepticons, you guys. A lot of Decepticons within a society will do this thing where, because you are yourself and because you are this really real life blessed soul who shows nothing but positivity to people, loves people, you're just so genuine, nothing but love in your heart, there's no room for hate. What happens with that is you're too good, so people want you to be bad. You understand? You guys don't understand how everyone's being brainwashed and their minds are like programmed. It's like people are under a mind control program where these people are really capitalizing off of the same people who want to be pro-women and pro-feminism or pro-black women or pro-African Americans or pro-blacks or pro-equality amongst all people, pro-this, pro-that, right? These people who are supposed to be supporters of these things are the same people who only care about putting money in their pockets, so they're capitalizing off of tearing down the grandeur, the royalty that is present within the chosen one. You see, it's a whole mind game. It's a whole mind control where people are literally doing this to break people down, because the only thing that's really that a lot of people care about is themselves. People have become lovers of self, and that was written. And when I speak about things that like this, things that were written centuries ago, no one really understands what everything means until it happens. We're living in this time right now where people are vanity slaves, because it's like you don't want to see a person's authenticity. You only see what you can gain. So it's a lot of fake and it's a lot of phony that's going on, you guys. So people who try to say, things like, oh, I'm all about the community, or I'm all about black women, or I'm all about supporting black businesses, or I'm all about whatever. Like, I'm just calling out different causes, topics that people vouch for. I'm all about this, I'm all about that. If you are, thou shalt never tear your sister down, your friend down. You know, see, I'm the kind of person, I don't watch celebrities on social media. I can't stress that enough. I've stressed that so many times this year. If I just so happen to see something, because when you're on social media, they're going to show you people you don't even follow. So if I just so happen to see something, I don't put thought into it. I just see it and be like, oh, okay, keep going. I don't put thought into it. However, I am so powerful that I'll post certain things for me, by me, because of me. And if it hits and resonates with any celebrity or with any life world event or situation that's going on, it's because I am who I am. That's why it could look like it's relevant to the situation, and that's why it could seem like it makes sense. That's why it seems like I'm speaking to that specific person that you all may think I'm speaking to, and that's not even the case. I have the power to do that. So it's been really hard because people go back and forth, and they'll watch you and then they'll go watch their celebrities. They'll watch you and then they'll go watch this one and that one and this one and that one. And people will put together pieces like a puzzle and try to make the picture and get the story and think they have the inside scoop. So when you're around them the next day or the next week, they feel like they have some type of insight into a situation that only they have created in their minds. They'll think and they'll feel that that's what's going on, that they know exactly what's going on, when I would say about 85% of the time it's not true. The other 15%, some people may actually know. But it's those people who are also intuitive, also spiritual, also psychic, also have gifts. Those people who also obey God. Those are the ones who know. But most of the time, you're going to have a lot of unconscious people, a lot of unawakened souls, a lot of misguided souls, a lot of demonically possessed souls, and individuals trying to personalize things when they have no right or way or reason to. A lot of people feel like they know me. A lot of people feel like they really understand. Now that can be a good thing sometimes, because everybody needs people who support them. And I feel like that's a great thing, because I usually can find my tribe. I usually can easily know who's for me and who's not for me, who's on my side and who's not on my side, right? But if this is the last days, you guys don't even understand what it is like to be chosen, what the life of a chosen one is really like. You got to understand something about chosen. Everyone wants to say that that's what they are, but they've never experienced anything like this in their life. When you're really chosen, most of the world are going to be against you, because when God turns on your destiny and it's time, Satan is going to already have a huge amount of demons ready for you, because Satan knew that the day was coming. When you awaken, when that cue, when you get your cue and it's time for you to go into your role, Satan already had people camped out waiting for you to rise. You understand? So the spirit that's in a lot of people, that's moving people right now, is Satan, and they don't realize it. Your own family members, your parents, your friends, your colleagues, your people you don't even know. The spirit is moving through many people, like thousands, millions of people right now, and they don't realize that that's that spirit. See, in their mind, they feel like they're right. In their mind, they feel like they're not. They feel like making you feel pity, shame, or any type of embarrassment or humiliation. It makes them feel good. But you got to understand, Satan makes people feel good when they go against God. Hallelujah. Satan provides immediate satisfaction and puts a smile or a smirk on your face. It makes you feel really good to go against God. That's what Satan does. That's the only kind of influence that Satan has, is to make people feel good by doing bad things. Because in the moment, you don't realize it's bad. So that is Satan moving through a lot of people. So people who go against you, people who talk about you and like get together, because Satan needs a whole lot of people to do this. So I'm going to wrap this up, but what I can tell you guys is that you can, this week, it is about you being your own individual person with higher morals and value than these people want to admit about you. Do not allow them to deceive you, because once again, people are unknowingly and willingly doing these things to you because they don't recognize it as Satan working through them. They recognize it as them doing something that makes them feel good to do it. That is Satan. He'll get you with gambling. He'll get you with hurting other people. And yes, he'll get you with going against someone who doesn't do anything to hurt you, harm you, doesn't say anything bad about you, and just minds their own business. So as I conclude, I'm the biggest, most popular energy right now because everyone's in it. And that's just the truth. Thank you guys. God bless.